Welcome back, everybody, to actually, you know what? We turned our wine night into content, and let me tell you why. White? Right now. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we have not had any more wine tonight than we ever have before. We've actually had way less.
We've had less.
I'm one glass in.
Yeah.
Mel's one glass in.
Yeah.
And I'm already not speaking right.
I feel like it's been a fucking week, man. It's such a weird week.
Let me tell you right now. Between the whole every fucking thing is in retrograde, there's 9 planets out of alignment. There's a 9-year cycle that's ending this. There's so many things happening that I'm like, I don't care anymore. Fix me. I'm so
just like lay on the ground and wait for the moon to wash over.
Waiting for, and then the supermoon happened, and I was like, this is gonna fix everything. And then it made things worse.
And then everything got worse.
And then it got worse. It's been a week. It's been such a week. But anyways, welcome to Actually, You Know What? We've turned our wine nights into content. We're trying our best out here. And actually, Mel and I did a taste test of what was the wine advent calendar.
Oh, yeah. I got us each the Aldi wine advent calendar.
By the way, not sponsored by Aldi, but let me tell you right now, get it.
Yeah, I've been wanting it for years because they've been doing it for a while. But every time I remembered about it, they would be sold out. Like I wouldn't get there on their day of, debuting it, and it sells out like within a couple of days usually. So this year I happened to have to leave the house because my roof was getting redone, and I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this house. So I bundled up me and Evie, and we went to Aldi, and I got it because it was the day it came out, and I got Stephanie one too because I was like, we're gonna fucking enjoy this together. And we did.
And we do be.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. I got the cheese and the chocolate accompaniment, like advent calendars too, just for me and Roy. But the couple days that I had that me and Stephanie both saved up the wine. So I brought the cheese and the cheese and the chocolate for that. And so we did a little
taste test.
Yeah.
Of the last 4 days, right? It was like the 3rd through the 6th.
Yeah.
It was 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah. It turned out to be nice too, because there was one out of the 4 days that I really didn't like, and there was one out of the 4 days that she didn't really like. Yeah. So we switched because now we each have about 2 glasses of wine worth.
Yeah.
So.
Well, which that shocked me because when you got me the advent calendar, I've never gotten one like this before. I was expecting it to be like a 3 or 4 ounce pour. I was expecting it to be small.
It's a 6 ounce.
It's a solid pour.
Yeah, it's like each little bottle is like 1 glass of wine.
How much was the entire thing, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe it was like $60 or something.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because it's 24?
Yeah.
It's 24 tiny bottles of wine. But by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, one of those at AMC is $17.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Because, it's like a 6 ounce pour was like $17. And Mal and I were like, we're saving the bottles.
Yeah. The bottles are actually really cute. They're not like...
They're good size. It's a good, solid pour.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we're enjoying those. So we're not drunk at all. We're just having a week.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that I think I have felt this week like I haven't been sleeping super great, and it's just been an emotional whirlwind that I feel like I'm drunk sometimes. Do you ever feel like sometimes you word vomit or sometimes you do things and you're like, why did I do that? I feel like I'm drunk.
It's almost like you're manic.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great way of putting it.
Because I've had times where I'm like talking so fast and I'm like, am I okay?
Why am I doing this?
What's happening?
What's happening to me right now?
Right.
Yeah. I agree. That's how I felt this week.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm just like,
you're like, your brain and your mouth are racing. Like everything is like racing and you're like, what's happening?
Happening to me right now? It's frustrating, but we're getting by. We're trying our best, and we are, as of recording, we are 2.5 weeks away from Christmas.
Yeah, it's
the 6th now when we're recording. This is going to be out on the 13th, 14th, whatever.
So I think it's like 18 or 19 days until Christmas.
Yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting close, and I'm really excited for it.
Holly jolly Christmas.
Yes. I'm super excited for it. And Christmas this year is on a Tuesday Wednesday combo, I believe.
Sure.
I believe it's Tuesday Wednesday, which means that New Year's Eve is a Tuesday Wednesday combo, and that for me means that I don't work Monday.
Right, you get like long weekends and stuff.
I'm sorry. I do work Monday, Thursday, Friday, and I don't work Tuesday, Wednesday, which is, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that sucks. I'd rather have a long weekend. For me, I'm like, no. Give me the middle of the week off.
Right, because then you just get more days.
Yeah, because Monday's a fuck off day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
And then like a lot of times in between, you know, holidays and a weekend, not much work actually happens.
Yeah. Most people are not. Most people have their like away messages. They're like,
right.
Talk to me in January, and I'm like, bold of you,
right?
But also love that for me because then I can tell my boss, hey, that they're not coming back till January,
right? So I'm just gonna, do this little piddly side project and listen to music by
you guys keep putting those away messages on. Trust me when I say I love it.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyways, happy December. Mal and I have some fun stuff to talk about today. But before we get into the super fun stuff, we're going to talk about what made us cry this week. Oh, man.
Well, based on what we just talked about, a lot, everything. I feel like, has made us cry this week.
Friendly reminder that before Mal and I record these podcasts, we do have our own in-depth conversations and catch up with ourselves.
We usually do what's it called, like a recap, like a...
Yeah,
of anything we need to get out
how
at that
we're doing.
Moment. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a frustrating week. A lot of little things have gone wrong, but I think obviously a lot of mine have to do with motherhood. I want to say I'm still a new mom. My daughter's only a year and a half old, but I was watching this YouTube channel I often watch. This person doesn't put out videos as much as they used to, but they do like vlogs, daily vlogs, and they're doing Vlogmas this year. Which, if you don't know anything about YouTube, a lot of channels back in the day used to do Vlogmas where they would record almost every day going up into Christmas. And it was a golden era of YouTube back when that was a popular thing. But this one channel still does it, and they have 2 small children. And, I don't want to get into the political correctness or the right and wrong of posting your child on the internet. I don't really believe in doing it in most ways, but it's nice to see other moms in that form sometimes, just to know you're not alone. But they have a daughter who is like 6-ish months older than mine. So they were talking about just the wild jump from like a year to 2 years old, and just like how much your baby changes. And, they showed like a quick little snippet of their daughter at, a year old, and they're like, I can't believe, she's like, they were getting really emotional about their baby turning 2. So then I started thinking about Evie growing up and just how quick it goes, and that she's, I posted recently on my own private social media, like that I don't share with the public, but like a video of her right at the end of 2024. And she was like, I think she was like 7 months old in that video.
She's a little nugget.
Yeah. She was so cute. And she was barely like, she was obviously not talking, but she was barely like, she just was a little baby, just making little coos and, just being cute and smiling and whatever. And now she's like a full ass toddler running around saying crazy ass shit and just, just crazy how much she's changed already. So I cried probably a good solid like 5 minutes about that.
Yeah. I saw that video that you posted, and it was so bizarre because I see you guys pretty often. I try to see you guys at least once a week, like 2 weeks. Yeah. And for me, seeing her once every couple weeks, I'll see her and I'm like, what? You grew so much already in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I never let that much time go by before I see her. And how big she gets, and from 1 week to the next, she's now talking about colors. Now she's talking about this, and now she's saying names of Dragon Ball Z characters. And it's so crazy to me. And I was just telling Mel earlier where I'm like, oh my God, she's like an anchor for me now. Like I can't, how could I ever leave knowing she's like growing up?
Right.
It's crazy to see her grow so fast, and she's so smart.
Parenthood's wild, man. Parenthood is probably the wildest thing I feel like most people will ever go through. It's a crazy trip. It's the best. It's hard. It's so fun. It's so sad. It's like a daily heartbreak, but it's daily amazing. It's wild. But so a lot of my what made me cry this week is going to be that. So, but
I love that though. I mean, the segment is. It's not always gonna be silly, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a real thing that made you cry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it. Well, as much as I can as somebody who doesn't have a baby, but when you posted that video, I was also like, what? Like, what do you mean? She's a big girl now.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. And I was actually just telling somebody the other day, I'm like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to carry her for a very long time.
I know.
Whereas like now, like I carry her for a little while and I'm like, this is fine. And I'm like, oh, we get a little tired.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, oh, wait. So it's crazy how much that changes in such a short amount of time.
I get videos all the time that like break me a little bit where it's like one day is the last day you'll ever hold your baby. And I'm like, no.
I'm on that side of TikTok because of you, because of Evie, because I like baby stuff because of her. And yeah, I've seen a lot of those videos. I won't watch them all. I'll like, get to like a few seconds in. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't.
I try not to do it either because it just it sends me on a spiral.
It's so sweet, but it's like, that's rough. But it's a sweet thing to cry about.
Yeah,
it's like a nice thing to cry about.
Mm-hmm.
I cried about a poem.
Oh
again,
yeah.
Because the last time that we talked, I also cried about a poem, and that for me, poetry, probably like the last 2 years or so, has really gotten to me, and I'm starting to find more people, and it was this one. Man, I'm gonna have to find this guy's name. Lucas.
Side note: the video that you shared, spoiler alert, I know what this poem is because she already shared it with me. But the video of whoever narrated it kind of made it seem creepy. Did that voice creep you out?
That's his voice.
Well, it creeped me out.
It creeped you out?
The way he was talking, it kind of sounded creepy. Like,
are we listening to the same video? I thought he had a very nice voice. He has like a British.
The way it was like, it kind of reminded me of that one song that's like, I can't remember how it goes. It's like men.
Oh, like the boots.
Yeah.
Boots. Yeah, I see what you're talking about, but I don't think that that's the same.
To me,
like
that it triggered that like association. So I was like, kind of sounds creepy. But I mean, the poem is beautiful. I'm not saying that the poem itself is creepy,
that's
but
so interesting.
The voice was kind of weird.
I didn't associate that at all. I found his voice to actually be very.
I feel like you have to play a snippet of it up to the mic. Maybe you can.
I know. I'll try to.
Yeah, we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll clip this out. But
yeah, but I might have saved it on TikTok though. The last thing I looked up on TikTok was the Anchorman thing. We were talking about how Anchorman has some of the funniest scenes that like I've ever seen in a movie, and like we were just googling that beforehand.
Well, because we always every time before we record, I like jokingly start doing like
we do the warm ups,
like the meme, and I was like, the Human Torch was denied a bank loan, and then she was like, they're
coming in the back door. What did he say? He's like, they're grabbing grab the children. I'll see if I'm gonna try to play it right now. So it's.
You wake up in the afterlife. You say, hey, how did it go? You blink away the haze. A banner reads, welcome home. You say, come on, child, tell us.
That reminds you of it?
Maybe it's.
You say, I'm not the one to ask.
Maybe it's the echoey. He sounds like he's far away.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I very much liked his voice. I think this voice.
It's not that I didn't like it. I didn't think it was like annoying or grating or like unpleasant. It just had a creepy vibe to it. Yeah.
Which I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about that Boots poem or whatever it is, but it's like a war thing. But yeah. Anyway, so this guy Lucas Jones, he's a poet, and he has a few books out, which I ordered 2 of them today. And one of the poems is like talking about how in the afterlife, you talk about how you live, you died, you didn't live that long, you didn't live a great life, whatever. And one of the sentences in it is, what about the trees we painted for you? Did you not love the trees? Should we have made them blue? And when I heard that sentence, dude, I was fucking shattered, man. There was something about that sentence that Like,
I think that when you shared that with me, that poem made me, I don't know if I like full on cry, but I did feel emotional because the poem's really good. It's basically just telling you and reminding us like to look at the little simple joys of life, because if you focus on the shitty parts and the hard parts, and you won't notice the beauty and like the good things about life, because it's like it's something I tell myself all the time too, where you always are trying to think of the future, and like once this happens I'll be happy, once this happens I'll be happy, that you like forget to enjoy your life, because life is literally day to day, like that's your life, you know.
And I think stuff like that gets to me. You know, when you come across a comment on TikTok that you're like, this might have just changed my life. Somebody on TikTok once posted something that said like, yeah, life is full of whimsy if you stop to look around. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, wait, you're right.
I was like, wait, that just changed my life. And it was such a beautiful quote. And it's something that I try to live day by day. And I do that for me, whimsy is having squirrels in my backyard and having birds in my backyard and having new kinds of birds come and visit, and sitting and watching the animals in my backyard come through. That's my whimsy of the day, is opening my back door and a squirrel coming up to me and asking for a nut. You know, I love that. That's my whimsy for the day. And that poem was just so like, I think maybe around this time of year too, where things can be a little bit harder, grief hits a little bit harder, and you know,
there's less sunlight, there's less
it's easier to fall into that what do they call it the seasonal depression, right? It's a little bit easier to fall into that. So I think hearing that right now, where it's like you might be going through something, but like, you know, did you not love the trees? That's what fucking, it killed me. And I was like, fuck. And that fucked me up. And you know, when they say, he says something like, should we have made you rich and worshipped? Would that have made the sunset better, or something like that? Like, would that have soothed you?
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's like, oh my God, no, like what could make life better?
Right.
Other than like materialistic things, which is what he talks about in the poem. And we could probably do an entire episode about the poem itself. But it's a beautiful poem by Lucas Jones, and definitely there are poems that you come across, and I think there's pieces of writing and movies and quotes and whatever else that you come across that sometimes just kind of shift things in your mind.
Yeah, it makes you think like, wow. There's another poem that like made me think of, or you just saying that made me think of it, where it was, I can't remember how it goes, but it was basically written by a woman who said, today I'm 80 and I woke up in my 35-year-old body. You know, my husband is strong and his muscles are firm, and my door like whips open and my two little kids, like 5 years old, run and climb into bed with me, and everything's loud and chaotic and messy, but their giggles and their hugs. Like, it's like when you're 80, 90, the day-to-day of being in your, you know, mid to late 30s or whatever can sometimes get hard, but when you're 80, these are the days you're gonna think about, and you're gonna be like, I want to go back to that. So that is like that. Whenever I think of that poem makes me sob.
You saying that makes me, this is something I've thought about before. I wish that more people that were in their 80s and 90s and that are coherent and sound of mind and everything, I wish they created more. I wish that they wrote. I wish, or maybe they do write, or I wish I could see more of it.
Right.
Because I remember I think it was a TikTok video, and it was a couple. They were in their like 80s, and they were playing Sea of Thieves. And
so cute.
And so cute, by the way. And they were talking to a guy who was a streamer, and they asked him, they were like, oh, how old are you? And he's like, oh, I'm 36 or whatever. He was in his 30s. And they were like, and the woman said, oh my God, you're just a pup. And I remember hearing that and being like, it hit me, because I was like, and then she mentioned that they were like, I think it was like their late 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
And of course, to them, you're a baby, you're a kid. And it made me think so differently, because you and I talk about this often, where it's like, man, we feel so old. We feel so.
Yeah. I heard this quote lately that if you died today, how would they say it? Like, oh, she died so young. She has so much life left to live.
Yeah.
Until you're in your 80s, no one says any differently.
Dude,
you're young up until you're not. And you are 50. If someone dies when they're 50, they were so young. They had so much life to live. Like, no, we're not old.
I've thought about that. I've thought about that too when like actors die and it's like, oh, died at 67. I'm like, man, that's not old enough.
They had more life to live. Yeah.
And to think we haven't even touched 40, and we're sometimes it's hard for us to remember that. I think it's because we lived such interesting, fun lives too, where
our 20s were wild.
Our 20s were fun, man.
Yeah.
And it's so vastly different to, I think, maybe I don't know other generations and what they did and whatnot, but I know that like my 20s were different than my parents' 20s.
And our 20s are different than Gen Z's.
For sure.
Most of Gen Z's 20s. The younger side of Gen Z.
Yeah. I know that like my parents in their 20s, they had kids, they had babies, and they were trying to take care of them and provide for them. In my 20s, I was getting blackout drunk every night. I was like, how am I getting home tonight?
All the time, yeah.
And Gen Z and like the younger generations, I don't think that they had what we had.
No,
maybe some of them
millennials were named the drunkest generation
for good reason.
For a reason,
and by the way, the most fun.
Yeah,
because like I'm sorry, and this is what I tell people all the time is that like I had so much fucking fun in my 20s that if I were to get married and settle down today, there's not an ounce of me that would go, man, I really missed out. Man, I should have done this.
That's exactly why. That's exactly why I waited to try to have kids until my early 30s, because I was like, no, I don't want to have like that little feeling in me that I feel like I need to get spread my wild oats or whatever it is. Like I did all the spreading of the oats when I was in my 20s.
I spread the oats.
I spread so many oats.
I did my time.
But yeah, no, I think that's really cool. Like the poetry is definitely like tugging at the heartstrings more these days.
Definitely. I think we have a lot more access to it now with TikTok and with, social media.
Yeah, because if I'm going to the bookstore and buying a book, I'm not really looking at poetry books.
Well, and also it's kind of like when you're don't judge a book by its cover. That's what I'm doing because that's all I have.
I don't know much about poetry, so I'm not like I don't know even what to look for.
I can't. Well, and also, what else am I supposed to judge the book on? I can't sit here and read it for 3 hours.
Right. So. I might as well just not buy it. Then if you're gonna read all of it.
So I just bought another set of poetry books. It was Diary of a Romantica, and I can't remember the name of the artist right now, but I'll have to post it in whatever podcast bio, etc. But I just bought her book of poems, and she's fantastic, and she does the spoken poetry too, and I think poetry hits harder as you get older because of the experiences and everything, and I'm finding a new appreciation for it. Where I used to like poetry, and I have a lot of books of poetry, but I think now certain ones are hitting just so much different.
Yeah, I mentioned this to Stephanie earlier in the night too. I feel like as you get older, you just more facets of your like empathy and your heart and your emotional range just like open up if you're willing to let it.
Yeah.
Because I've always been mostly an empathetic person. I've always cared about what happens to other people. I've always really, cared about my friends and family and everything like that. But I don't know, as you get older, it just like it hits harder. It's like you really feel it,
Yeah. No, and that's something that I think about too, where I'm like, man, when I was, 19, 20, 21, I don't think I cared about a lot of shit.
No, not really.
I think I was more interested in
like my friends. That's the only thing I really like.
All I cared about is having fun.
Yeah.
And not because I was a bad person. None of us were bad. We weren't bad people.
We were just young.
I think you're young and you haven't experienced certain things yet, and all you know is X, Y, Z, and you're like, yeah, I just want to have fun. Mm-hmm. And you get older and you start experiencing more things. You experience grief, you experience loss, and you start understanding what it's like. And then you're like, shit,
right,
oh, man. But yeah, that poem. Dude, I cried for a long time over that poem yesterday. I was like, how do I It's tough for me because I hear things like that. There's certain poems and certain lines and certain quotes that I hear, and I'm like, how do I engrave this into me? Like, how do I turn this into something tangible? No, literally, I did write that down as a tattoo idea. Was did you not love the trees? That was something that I wanted to add to my whimsical arm. Was because I think that's it's such a great quote. Did you not love the trees? And it's so simple.
Right.
And I love, if it's one thing I love about, any quote that I have on myself is for people to not know where it comes from.
Right.
And to ask me about it. So then I get the opportunity to go, yeah, let me tell you about it.
It's so funny because that is literally one of my favorite things about life is trees. I love trees.
That's so funny.
I told Roy, my husband, we were looking for property, and I told him I needed to have trees because we have a lot of farmland by us where we live. We're in the Midwest. Hello. So any property that had, an older house to renovate or no house to build new was mostly farm property. And I was like, I don't want to live on a flat, lifeless hunk of land I want trees.
Right.
And yeah, no. And then other parts of the world, while they're beautiful, like Texas, I've been to Texas, and I know some parts of Texas are different than others because it's a very large state, but I'm like, it's too deserty. Don't like it. I want trees. And Arizona, I haven't been there personally, but I've seen it, and my husband's been there, and not for me. I like trees. I don't know. And even some places in, just Florida. Florida's okay because it's got the ocean, it's got palm trees, but I don't know. I like trees. So I did like the trees. Whenever someone asks me one day when I die and they ask me that, I'm like, yeah, I did like the trees.
I did like the trees. What a great poem. I'm for sure going to link it.
This is a pretty deep, what made me cry this week. Usually we're like, tee-hee, and this one's like,
this is so silly.
Profound.
This spider was in the rain and it made me cry. Sometimes I'm deep, okay? Sometimes things make us
mine
cry.
was deep too. I mean,
yours is always deep. I feel like the one that last time was also kind of deep.
I have a hard time. I feel like I feel a lot. I think about things and I feel a lot all the time.
Dude, all the time.
So I don't very often come across a day where something deep isn't happening, or I'm not thinking about something deep.
Same.
So when I cry, those are the reasons I cry out of that, or I cry out of frustration. Those are the main reasons I cry.
I was actually telling somebody yesterday because they were like, oh, I wish you wouldn't cry. And I was like, oh, no, every emotion of mine is cry. If I'm happy, I cry. If I'm sad, I cry. If I'm mad, I cry. Everything I don't know how else to emote because I don't like to yell. I don't like to scream.
It feels good sometimes.
I cry. I just cry.
It's better than yelling or throwing shit.
Right.
Which I...
No.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Punch a wall?
Yeah, we're not white boys named Kyle.
No, that's fucking insane.
I'm just kidding. Anyone named Kyle out there, I'm just kidding.
He's patching the wall.
Right now,
and he's like,
my ass. He's drinking Monster with what's it called? Affliction wardrobe.
Trucker hat.
Yeah.
A fucking tap out shirt.
Oh, got me.
Fucking got my ass. But yeah, so anyways, after the whole What Made Us Cry this week, we did want to get into something a little bit more fun and lighthearted, which is red flags.
Yeah. Lighthearted, not serious.
Lighthearted shit. Not lighthearted, but it is fun stuff. And so the last episode that was released, I did talk about green flags in relationships and everything, which was the polar opposite of red flags, which I talked about in a few episodes ago. I don't remember which episode it was. But I talked about green flags and what makes somebody, dateable, things that you look for that make you go, I kind of want to date this person. So anyways, I posted a few stories and talked about, I asked followers.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. What are you guys?
Are you following us on Instagram, by the way? Anyway.
Hey, if you guys
shameless plug.
If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow Mal at Mal Kirby, M-A-L-K-R. Nope. M-A-L-K-I-R-B-Y.
2 Y's on Instagram.
Oh, it's 2 Y's on Instagram.
Yeah, there was... Okay. So we already had the...
Who has that?
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know.
Can you call them? Can we figure that out? That's crazy.
I'll sue them.
I've never realized
later on. I'll
2
sue
Y's
them.
on Instagram. or you can follow Staggy Stardust on Instagram, or you can follow Actually You Know What on Instagram, and
be part of the. Sometimes we do polls on there. Sometimes we do polls on the Discord, which
Discord,
you can.
You can join it.
You can just let us know. We'll.
You're allowed to.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I want to be that.
I want to be that.
Hey, I want to be there. But posted something on Instagram about red flags and what people consider red flags, and we actually got a pretty decent amount of response. And I'm super excited to talk about this today because I feel like
it's fun.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I like the perspectives that you and I have because I'm somebody who is obviously I'm not married and I'm still dating and I'm still trying to figure it out. And you are somebody that has been with the same person for a long time.
Right.
So I think the perspectives are different, but also similar.
Yeah.
So I think it's super fun. So we're going to jump right into it. Let's jump into red flags. Imagine that there's a cool intro to this.
What's that? Have anyone seen the guy on TikTok who like will play a TikTok, like stitch a TikTok video of like a terrible human, like a guy being a complete fucking terrible person, and then he just runs around the field with a giant red. Yeah.
And he's like, and sometimes he does the green flags too.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't remember like what he says, but he's like, "Oh no, bro, chacho."
Yeah, he's like, God, you're the best person that's ever existed.
He's like, "Oh no, stop while you're ahead."
Yeah,
like,
he like
say silly
he
things,
literally jumps around and like freaking jump ropes around his flag. He just does crazy
I love that
shit.
guy.
But anyway,
yeah,
continue.
I know he's the red flag guy.
So whenever we say red flag, just imagine that guy running across your brain. Yeah.
But yeah, we have a good amount of red flags here, and if we have time, we'll get into green flags. If not, we'll save it for the next.
I don't think we're gonna have time.
I don't think we're gonna have time. But yeah, so we're gonna dive right into it. The first thing, which I think is a very common one, is if they're mean to the waiter or the waitress.
Yeah.
Huge thing. I feel like that's something that everybody. I think that's a millennial thing. I don't think that that's a man or a woman thing. I think that that's a generational thing because I think that the older people are very like, yeah, get me this.
Yeah,
and
a lot of
and
boomers are kind of rude, and a lot of younger people are just
millennials. I feel like we're like, can you please get me
right?
this? If
Please,
it's not
I'm so sorry.
inconvenience?"
I'm so sorry to bother you. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Can I please get ranch on the side? I'm so sorry. I will give you my firstborn.
Yeah, literally, I'm doubling your tip. I'm sorry.
Right, literally. Can I get more ketchup? Also, I'm going to give you so much money.
Right. Yeah, no, I think. Well, I mean, sure, there's probably terrible millennials too that don't adhere to that,
I'm
but
sure.
I
I've never
agree.
come across anybody who was like mean.
No, I think I've come across like, yeah, I remember the only like huge vivid memory I have of somebody being terrible to a server was a boomer, and it was my friend's mom.
Yeah.
She was, oh my god.
Really?
Oh god. Yeah,
awful.
I like didn't want to go out to eat with them, and I was only in high school at the time.
Really?
So it's like
Whoa.
I couldn't say anything.
Oh my god, I could never.
It was wild.
That's one thing I do appreciate about my parents. They've always been so nice to servers and waitresses and everything. They're always like, "Oh, can I please get this?" And like my dad's the kind of dad that like jokes with them.
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, I hated it," and like the plate's empty. Like, oh god. But like,
what's a dad joke?
yeah,
it was disgusting.
It's so I need a refund. It's so funny, but they were both really nice people all the time and tipped very well, and I think that translated to me where and I feel like most people I've ever gone out with has been the same thing, but occasionally there is somebody that's like, yeah, get me this, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Like,
why are you talking like that?
Yeah, can you
That's
not?
crazy. I know that that's their job, but like treat them like people.
Right. Right.
That's bonkers to me. So yeah, 100%. I think we both agree.
Yeah, I think that's something to look out for, because if they're willing to treat a total stranger like garbage for no reason, how else are they going to treat other people?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's definitely a red flag for that, because it's like, this person, you have no idea what their day's like. You have no idea maybe their mom just died. Like,
it's an empathy thing too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that stems from that.
Exactly. Yeah. If someone you're starting to date doesn't show enough empathy to just treat another human like a human,
yeah,
I would definitely err on the side of, that's a red flag. I don't think I'm gonna fuck with that. Yeah. And
I think somebody else actually said something kind of along the same lines where they said bad treatment of people that they don't need something from, especially workers and animals. So I think that kind of falls along the same lines of like I don't need anything from you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dude, if someone's treating an animal badly,
that's crazy. I've never seen anybody our age or younger treat an animal badly. I've seen people be like, I don't like cats. But if I saw somebody that was like mean towards an animal,
dude,
I'd be like, that's crazy.
I feel like I told you this story, but I went on a date with a guy. Obviously, this was years and years ago. And
no, this was recent.
Yeah, me and Roy had a fight, and I went on a date. No, it's when I was single, living on my own in that period of my life, and I went on this date with this guy, and it was like I had hung out with him like once or twice with friends, and he took me out one time, and that was it. But I remember I think we had just gotten food and drinks, and we were talking in his car, and he said something about dogs, and I don't remember what the conversation was exactly, but I said something about cats too, because I was like, I love both dogs and cats, like, because at that time I wasn't like as big of a cat person as I am now, because I didn't have any cats myself. But I think I said something like, I want a cat, because cats, in my opinion, are a lot easier to, I guess the word is like, not morph to my life, but at this point in my life, I was living in an apartment. I wasn't going to stay in this apartment for very long. I feel like it was going to be a max a year or two, maybe 3 at the most. I knew I would probably move from there, and like my life was kind of like more not stable at that point. So I was like, I want a cat, because if I have a cat, it's a lot easier to like move, and like the cat would be happier in an apartment than a dog would be. And dogs, I require more time and attention, and I was working a lot then. So I would think that's why I was talking about that, because I was like, yeah, I might want a cat soon. And I, for whatever reason, I said that, and he was like, I hate cats. There's a cat that used to come in my backyard, and I shot it with a BB gun.
Ew.
And he was like, ha ha ha, like whatever about it.
Ew.
And I was like, that's
what is the matter with you?
Not fucking funny. And I literally never talked to him again.
Not only did you do it, but you're admitting to it.
And he was like proud of it.
That's fucking weird. No, that's serial killer shit.
I was like, dog. He's like,
look him up now.
Dogs are so much better. Like, what?
Has he killed people?
I don't know.
He might have.
I have no idea. I think he's married or something. But yeah, I was like,
check on her.
Cool. I want to go home now.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to leave
like,
now. Yeah.
Red fucking flag.
It's one thing to be like, yeah, I don't really like cats, and it's another thing to be like, fuck cats.
I want to shoot them with BB guns.
That's like actually insane.
That's like so terrible. And that cat could have been someone's pet too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think hurting any animal for shits and giggles is like a cool thing. Mm-mm. I understand people hunt. I understand that people do whatever. I get that. Cool. But like, I don't know. I think that when you're purposely hurting an animal to hurt an animal because you simply don't like it, I think that that's actually fucking batshit crazy. So yeah, I don't think
yeah, that's definitely a red flag right there.
I think that maybe we skip on that. That's actually no fucking batshit crazy. But yeah, so red flag number 1 that we went over was being mean to a waitress or a waiter or somebody that is like, you know,
not personally doing anything for you.
Right. The second one was when she tells you she thinks she's falling in love with you within a month of seeing each other. And this is an interesting one because I think this falls into the realm of the love bombing,
yeah,
which we have talked about and which I did mention in the red flags episode where I said love bombing is a very dangerous thing. It's a red flag. However, it's hard to differentiate.
Especially if you're not used to it.
For somebody that's not used to it. For somebody like myself that has ADHD, and I know this is something that a lot of people with ADHD struggle with, is you struggle with love bombing because in your head, you're like, well, I feel the same way about you. I think that you're super cool and you're super great. But what you're not realizing is you're like, oh, wait, I'm hyper fixating on this person.
Right.
And I'm just kind of like, whatever. And that's something that as somebody with ADHD, I've had to hone in on and understand about myself.
Yeah.
Is making sure that I'm not love bombing somebody, making sure that I actually really like them, and that it's not just their company, it's not just, you know, their presence that I like.
That's wild, because I know that about you, and I know that is a thing that people do. I don't think I've ever experienced it, and if I did, I clearly got rid of them immediately, because I don't trust that ever.
Yeah.
If someone, I mean, I guess it's because I based it on how I feel in my own head about, mostly about significant others. With friends, I can maybe understand love bombing.
Yeah.
With friends, for me personally, I feel like I can get love bombed by friends where I'm like, dude, I fuck with this person so much. Like, I have such a good time with this person. I would, you know, I'm so loyal to them. I'll do whatever for them because they are good, you know, a good friend to me. And then, you know, a couple months later, they fuck me over. They prove me that I was a dumbass, like that I put that much time and effort to them because they don't care about me.
Right.
But with dudes or like relationships, I never dealt with that ever.
You're like, fuck that.
Yeah, because I was like, if you think you like me already, and we've been on 3 dates,
yeah,
no, you don't. Like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to manipulate me to get into bed, or manipulate me to like do something for you?
See, I think I'm just so fucking vain that I'm like, yeah, of course you love me. I'm fucking awesome.
Well, I have confidence in that way of like, I am awesome. I know I'm fun to be around.
Yeah.
But like, you don't fucking love me.
Yeah.
Do you know what love means? Like, I guess that's where my head goes.
That is how I feel now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get more into the mentality of that now. But I think back then and prior, I'm like, well, yeah, of course you love me. And of course you're into me because I'm fucking cool. And I feel like that about you too. So of course you feel like that about me. And I didn't realize that it was kind of, you know, the whole limerence thing. It's the whole, I like the idea of you, and this is a new thing, and you're new and shiny and whatever. So that's why now I
think it kind of goes along what I was saying too with the friendship thing. Like, you can really have a good time with someone.
Yeah.
And you can really like want to help them out with whatever and like be with them a lot because hanging out with them feels good. But it doesn't mean you love them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess love is, I think it should be more like, not sacred. That's like, okay, calm down. But it's like a more
relaxed. No, I know what you mean though.
Yeah, it's a more profound thing. It's not just
a more
like
protected thing. It shouldn't be something you just give out to everybody.
It's like you don't know if you are in love with someone
right
away. I'd never believed in like the Romeo Juliet shit. Like, yeah, okay, you maybe thought that guy was hot and you like really like vibed with his personality, but you did not love him. Like, what do you mean?
Shut up, calm down.
Shut the hell up.
Shut up. Yeah. No, so I think I agree with that. If I don't think I've ever told anybody within a month that I'm falling in love with them. I think that's definitely I will say, I think in most of my relationships, I don't think I've ever been the first one to say I love you.
Right.
I'm almost positive I've never been the first one to say it.
Right.
So I feel like I've always kind of waited. I've always been like, maybe I might feel it, but I'm going to wait until you say it, until you're comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, feeling love in whatever is one thing, but love bombing is for sure a red flag because it feels like they're just trying to get something out of you, whether it be your time and your energy and your affection or what. I agree. It's a red flag, 100%.
Yeah. So the next red flag is becoming overly possessive too quick, which is another good one that I think is also true because I've definitely experienced that where people will get possessive in trying to control what you're wearing or what you're doing or who you're going with. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's not hot like in book talk. In real life,
dude, and I think we've talked about this before.
That was, I think, a big or last, maybe not our last one, but one of the last ones we did was about.
It was book talk,
about like how guys being possessive and aggressive is like cute, I guess, in books. It's like hot, but in real life, it's not.
I was talking to somebody about this recently, and then you and I talked about it too, where it's like. it's hot in theory because it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna go knock that guy out for me.
Right.
But now you have to deal with the aftermath. Now we're not allowed back in the bar.
Yeah.
Now I have to pay that tab.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure, are you going to jail?
Right. The cops are now called.
Now
Like
we got to figure out what we're doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole thing, and it's obviously not realistic, and it's like super annoying, and it's
Right.
like, oh my god, what are we doing? But yeah, the whole possessiveness thing, it's hot in theory because of, I think, book talk and smut
Yeah.
and like all this other shit. I think it's a theorized thing, but
in practice, it's not.
it's not, because I think, and this is something I talked about on my last episode, where like there's a difference between possessiveness and I can't remember what I called it, but it was understanding that you have somebody that is desired, but also like being protective of that and saying, of course that guy wants you. I just hope he knows that I'm with you. And that's kind of the protectiveness that you're looking for. Not
Right.
that guy's looking at you, I'm going to go kick his ass.
Right.
Because
Like
it's not what you want.
If you're at a bar and some guy's looking at me, I want my man to be like just wary. Like,
let me put my arm around you.
Yeah, I'm
Let me
watching
grab
this.
you.
I'm making
Yeah.
sure you're safe.
Yes, it's
And
a
if
protective
something
thing.
unsafe
Yes.
is happening, then I'll step
Yeah.
in. But I'm not
Yes.
just like, just because guy's looking at you, because you
Yeah.
are hot or whatever.
Yes, it's a protective thing, not a possessive thing.
Yeah.
So this guy is looking at you. Okay, well, I'm going to keep my eye on him because I want to make sure that he's not going to try to do anything with you.
Right.
Or this guy's looking at you. I'm going to put my arm around you, or I'm going to put my arm around your waist, or I'm going to give you a quick kiss. Make sure that this guy knows I'm with you.
Right.
That's hot. That's cool.
Yeah, that's good in practice.
I love that. Don't sit there and be like, this guy looked at you, I'm going to go kick his ass.
Yeah.
That's, what are you doing?
Right.
That's
Like, okay.
That's crazy. Buy me another drink.
Right.
Go fight a guy.
Unless you're like Jax Teller and we're living in that life, like, don't do that.
Ew, what are you doing? Get away from me. So no, I definitely I agree with that. The becoming overly possessive too quick. I think becoming overly possessive at
Ever?
any point.
Ever.
I
Yeah.
think
I'm about to say ever. Yeah.
yeah, that's a red flag. Somebody also said people hung up on their ex, which you and I talked about very briefly
There's
before.
Like, we have to define hung up.
Yeah, my thing is define hung up, because I know for me personally, I am somebody that I like to talk about exes. I like to talk about what happened in your past relationships, because I know that I have a past that has shaped me in a certain way that is not ideal. It's shaped me in a certain way that you might need to care for me in a certain way.
I don't think you should think that way about yourself. I think it's not. Things in your past have made you who you are.
Yeah.
Whether you think it's good or bad, I think it makes you you.
Yeah.
You know, and the right people aren't going to think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing that you get a little bit anxious about certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I get anxious about other things. Everyone has their shit. So I don't think you should wear it like that, because that makes you sound like you don't like yourself. I think you should say, like, yeah, I've had things happen to me that causes like certain things that other people might have to like deal with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the right people will be happy to deal with it.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, yeah, what was it?
It was people hung up on their ex.
Yeah. You aren't hung up on your exes, but you are taking your life experiences and trying to like use that to like figure out how to navigate through your present.
Yeah.
That's not like, I feel like being hung up on your ex is like, if I'm hearing someone say that to me, I'm thinking that they still have feelings for them.
Right.
Or
yeah.
they're still like,
Right.
fuck that guy. I hope he fucking rots in fucking hell. And like,
yeah, if I hear somebody talk about their ex in a way that's like, fuck her, I fucking hate
Yeah.
her, or she was a crazy bitch, or whatever, I'm like, so you're still in love with her? Because for you to hate somebody, it stems from somewhere. It stems from a place of love. I've never hated anybody that I didn't love.
right.
I think I maybe hate one or two people. They are not ex-boyfriends. They're just people in my life that I genuinely loved at one point or another. And now we're not friends anymore. Is it's like that's where that stems from.
Yeah.
Is that like I hate you because I loved you at one point.
Right.
And I have that love for you. There is not a single ex of mine that I go, oh yeah, fuck that guy. I hate him. Like no, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent about everybody, and I'm very open about that.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, yeah, I just don't I don't wish them anything. Where it's like, you know, I don't wish them the worst thing ever. I don't wish them the best thing ever. I don't fucking care what happens to them. Choke. I don't care. Choke or win the lottery. I don't give a shit. As long as it doesn't have to do with me anymore.
Right.
And yeah, I think it's hard. And this is something that I've noticed more with women than I have with men, because I've seen the memes of it where a lot of it's always like a meme coming from a girl where it's like, I wish I could talk to my boyfriend about all of my past traumatic relationships so that he knows I'm not crazy for no reason. I've seen that a lot lately. And I'm like, I get that. And that's something that I constantly want to talk about to whoever I'm seeing. Hey, this happened to me, and I want you to know that the reason I'm anxious about this, or the reason why this bugs me, is because this happened to me.
Right.
And I want you to know it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with this person. I'm not saying that you're to blame for it, but it is something that hurts me.
Right.
And I want you to be aware of that.
Right.
Because when I react a certain way, I don't want you to think that it's for no reason.
Right.
And I think that guys are not the same way. I think that guys are like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what guys are like, honestly.
I did nothing.
Someone,
I feel like nothing
someone
goes
write
on.
a fucking
the
manual.
The gears are barely turning.
No,
in
they
their brains.
need to be oiled or something. But, but yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think that's not being hung up. So if someone is saying as a red flag being hung up on an ex is in the way we were saying of, fuck that person, I hope they rot in hell, or they secretly still have feelings of love or just feelings in general, that is a red flag. But if they're doing what we were saying of the whole, like, I want to discuss what happened in my past because I want to move forward in a healthy way, whether that be in this relationship or not, like, that isn't hung up. That is not hung up.
Right.
So.
Like, let me talk to you about this really quick, because this is something that I'm still healing from, something that I'm traumatized about, etc. And there are still triggers there, and it has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with what happened to me in my past. And I feel like women are wired in that way to understand that, and men are just like,
what do you mean?
Nothing.
What? So I'm being punished by shut the
dude,
fuck up.
I've had guys say that to me before.
Yeah.
One of my exes was like, he literally verbatim said, I'm being punished for something your ex did. And I'm like, first of all, no, you're not.
Like,
because
I'm not. Is this what punishment looks like to you? Because I'm being so fucking nice. Yeah.
Does punishment look like me asking you a question? Because that's fucking insane.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you're crazy. And it was like, well, because that guy did something to you, I'm getting what I'm like. I asked you a very simple question, and my question was, who was that? And you acting like that is actually fucking batshit.
Right.
I'm sorry, but like, there's no universe where anybody asks me who is that, where I go, why are you at? How fucking dare you? There is no universe. That's crazy.
Sometimes, so I'm married as fuck, right? Everyone knows this. Sometimes Roy will get off the phone in front of me with somebody who's clearly a man in his business or work life. And I'm like, what girl is that? Who are you fucking? I'll just like jokingly say it. And if you can't have that type of banter with your significant other, don't be in the relationship.
Right.
But also, yeah, if you can't just simply ask who was that, dude, and not just get
you would have thought that I said, who are you fucking? Like, I literally just said, I was like, oh, I saw this girl in your DMs. Who was that?
Right.
And he was like, oh, is this person? I was like, oh. And no, that's the worst part, is that I was like, okay, well, I appreciate you saying that and explaining it to
I
me.
appreciate letting me know, because I get a little anxious.
This happened to me. And that's when he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, wow.
So asking wasn't even the issue. It was explaining the reasoning.
No, and by the way, I thanked him for it. That was the worst part, is that I was like, oh, I appreciate you telling me that. That makes me feel better. By the way, This is why I was asking, and that's what set him off. And I was like, well, I wasn't accusing you of anything, but the fact that you're being this defensive is super fucking
Right,
weird.
like
that's crazy. By the way.
Yeah, so anyway, that is a red flag. If the what was the hang up?
Somebody hung up on their exes.
Yeah.
I think that you have to really differentiate what hung up
Right.
means.
You have to
there's a difference between
have to be actually hung up.
Yeah, there's a difference between I want to have a conversation about my ex because of the damage they did or because of the lessons I learned, and I'm hung up on my ex because my ex is fucking crazy, or she did this, or he did that, or I can't, or if they bring them up for no reason,
right?
Well, my ex liked chocolate chip cookies. I think that's okay. Well,
are you thinking about them all the time?
That's
right?
Fucking weird.
Right.
So that is a super weird one. And I think we'll do one more. And I think the next one is going to be
to be continued. Ooh.
Is the incessant texting, or if somebody is on their phone all the time early in the relationship.
Yeah. Well, I think that could be a red flag for sure. In the fact of it could mean that person isn't that into you.
Right.
Because if I'm hanging out with someone I really fucking like and I enjoy being in their company, I'm not going to be on my fucking phone the whole time.
Right. Like I will, anytime I go on a date or anytime I hang out with anybody, like I will say, like, especially if I'm on like a first or a second date with somebody, I will say, by the way, if you hear this ringtone, the Jetsons ringtone go off, it's because my mom is checking on me. Or, hey, I'm going to check my phone to let my friend know that I'm alive.
Right.
And I will, it's kind of like a test to them too, where it's like, are they going to be weird about it? Are they going to go, of course? Like, hey, by the way, I'm texting my friend to let her know I'm alive. And if they go, of course, like, yeah, do that. Or if they're fucking weird about it, then I'm like, well.
I don't know. Yeah, any normal person would not be weird about that. So, yeah, that's a red flag if they're weird about it. But,
right.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a red flag if someone isn't present with you and on their phone. That to me sounds almost more like what you would expect in a stagnant older relationship than a brand new.
Right. We've been dating for 10, 11 years and we're going on a dinner date,
right? And then your husband's on fucking phone and you're like, should I just leave? And then they're like,
should I go?
Sorry, and then you're like, fuck you. I've had these arguments, but yeah, no, I don't. For the beginning, I think it's definitely a red flag. Right. It's like, do you even fucking want to be here? Like, go.
The only time I've ever been on my phone is exactly for that.
Right, and that's not being on your phone constantly. That's just like, here, a minute.
I let them know ahead of time. Hey, by the way, I'm texting my friend just to let her know, or I'm going to call my friend really quick, let her know I'm okay,
right,
etc. It's never, I'm going to be on my phone the entire time. Because, if somebody's on their phone the entire time that you're on a date, I've never experienced that. But I feel like I would be like, obviously.
Yeah, I would be super. Yeah. I would be like,
I'm
just going to go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I think, have fun with the check.
Right.
I think that's crazy. So I again, personally never have experienced that. But if I had, I think I'd be like,
These are all really good ones. I think everyone did a really good job at.
There's some really good ones in here. We have a bunch more, which we are definitely going to go over the next time that we do a little podcast here. However, we are going to end this one now because we don't want to go over that hour mark, and also we have a lot more wine to drink. We have more things to talk about without you guys. God, leave us alone.
Let us be.
Let us be. But anyways, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we going to put that to rest?
I think we should probably put that one to rest. We can cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening. Cheers. We'll talk to you guys later. Actually, you know what? All right, I want to take a moment to send a heartfelt thanks to everyone that has donated and shown us just such incredible support. Your encouragement has been both motivating and just extremely instrumental in helping us bring this super fun dream and adventure to life. And we're just so excited and beyond excited, actually, to start the journey. So a few special thank yous to Samantha, Chiblet, Darth Silent Bob, Dave M., Jess Bagel, who has a health and wellness journal available now at colorcodedcookie.com. Katie Edward, who wrote Call on Me and is one of the few books that I've actually finished and loved and read and everything in the last year and a half. Dustin, aka Wicked Warrior, your face and body painting skills never failed to amaze me, dude. You're doing incredible. Our beautiful friends, Gloria and Joanna, Tim, Mauricio Armachea, Greg, Squeegee, my friend Jason Abadi. Thank you for validating my thoughts while I navigate dating men. I appreciate you always listening to me yap. My Lavender in life, Oz, who helped keep me grounded during one of the harder times in my life. To my wonderful family, my uncle Chris and his wife Letty, my incredible cousins, Eric and Chingona. You guys are always cheering me on. My parents, Mallory's husband Roy, who I also consider to be my family. Your unwavering support just absolutely means the world to us. And then finally to Mallory, you listened to me talk about a dream out loud, about starting a podcast. And not only did you encourage me to take the leap, but you took it with me. And I mean, you're my best friend and I love you. And I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. So thank you guys again for listening, for being here, for supporting us and encouraging us. And we will catch you on the next one.